I mean, but
You
what's
know
what I'm
what's wrong
talking
with
about? But what's wrong with that, though? He didn't say nothing. That's his opinion, though.
Guess what? Watch this.
He's not. Right.
Same thing I did to Penny Hardaway. Same thing I did to Kobe Bryant. Same thing I did to D. Wade. Spider got that dog in him. I know exactly what I'm doing. Did you see how he playing now?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's me. I know exactly what I'm doing. These kids now, you can't tell them how good they are. You got to motivate them because they got too much going on. I can't tell you you're great now.
I felt so bad.
I know you did, but look, you ain't all that now. And then the dogs.
Shaquille O'Neal didn't just respond, he exploded. When LeBron James and Kevin Durant appeared to poke fun at Larry Bird on live TV, they likely expected it to pass as playful trash talk. Instead, it ignited a firestorm. Shaq stormed in, fiercely defending one of basketball's most sacred legends and turning casual banter into a heated public showdown. What followed wasn't just a clash of personalities, but a revealing moment that highlighted the growing divide between today's superstars and the icons who laid the foundation for the league. And when Shaq finished speaking, the message was clear: respect the past, or be ready for the backlash. The basketball world is now split, and the debate is far from over.
Just describe number 33.
Yeah, Larry.
Larry was always more than it wasn't. When you think of Larry, I still think of passing first.
No question. And he went three.
And shooting second. He went through back to back to back, 84, 5, 6.
Yeah.
Okay. Larry, on nights when his shot was off, could still help you win the game.
Right.
On nights when he realized he didn't even need to take a shot. I'll never forget the game in Phoenix. There was a game in Phoenix. They were down big at the half, maybe even by 20. And they came back and won the game. And in the third,
it all kicked off in early February 2025, during what was supposed to be a relaxed, fun conversation between LeBron James and Kevin Durant. Two all-time greats sitting together, cracking jokes, talking basketball, the kind of moment fans love to see. Everything felt easygoing at first. Smiles, laughter, nostalgia. But midway through the chat, the topic shifted to the greatest players of all time, and that's when the mood subtly changed. Larry Bird's name entered the conversation, and instead of the usual praise reserved for a legend of his stature, the tone turned playful, maybe a little too playful. LeBron smirked and suggested Bird was dominant for his era, but questioned whether he could keep up in today's game. KD piled on, joking about Bird's speed and laughing at the idea of him defending modern stars. The room laughed. The moment passed. Or so it seemed. The clip didn't stay contained for long. It spread like wildfire across Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, racking up millions of views within hours. At first, many shrugged it off as harmless trash talk between friends. But basketball history runs deep, and Larry Bird isn't just another name. You don't casually dismiss a legend without consequences. Younger fans rushed to defend LeBron and KD, arguing that the game has evolved, athletes are bigger, faster, and more explosive than ever. Older fans, though, were outraged. Comment sections erupted with anger and nostalgia. Accusations of disrespect flew. Claims that Bird would dominate any era flooded timelines. What began as a joke had turned into a generational war. Shaquille O'Neal usually stays out of these generational arguments. Between running his business empire, dominating TV panels, and hosting podcasts, he doesn't have time for internet debates. But when Shaq saw that clip of LeBron James and Kevin Durant laughing about Larry Bird, it struck a nerve. A few days after the video went viral, Shaq went live, and this time he came loaded. Leaning toward the camera with that unmistakable intensity, Shaq didn't mince words. He made it clear. LeBron and KD are phenomenal, all-time great players, but disrespecting the legends who built the game is crossing a line. Larry Bird, Shaq said, wasn't just great, he was ruthless. A cold-blooded competitor who didn't rely on speed because his mind was always 2 steps ahead of everyone else on the floor. As Shaq spoke, his voice rose, the passion undeniable. This wasn't a debate about eras or analytics anymore. This was about respect. Bird played in a time when defense was brutal, when there were no easy calls, no nights off, no managing workloads. You got hit, you got up, and you kept playing. And Larry Bird didn't just talk trash, he told you exactly what he was going to do, then did it to your face. Shaq drove the point home with a reminder few could argue against. Without Bird, without Magic, without Jordan, the modern NBA doesn't exist. There is no LeBron, no KD, no global superstars. The message was simple: honor the foundation or risk losing the respect of those who laid it. The internet erupted instantly. But Shaq wasn't done yet. What he said next turned a heated debate into an all-out firestorm, and forced the entire basketball world to choose a side.
And greeted us, and even though we lost, they were grateful to us because we put a Terre Haute on the map as far as basketball, and They thought that at the time they have a good future and they was going to have a team they could go root for year after year. And to me, it was something very special because I went in there and they had like a 13-13 season. And all of a sudden, you go from having 2,000 and 3,000 people at your games to people can't get tickets. And it was an accomplishment for all.
To really understand why Shaq's response landed with so much force, you have to understand who Larry Bird truly was, and it goes far beyond numbers. Yes, the accolades speak loudly: 3 MVP awards, 3 NBA titles, and 12 trips to the All-Star game. That alone places Bird among the all-time greats. But his impact on the game ran much deeper than any stat sheet ever could. Bird played in the rough-and-tumble 1980s, a time when the league didn't bend over backward to protect scorers. Defense was physical. Hand-checking was legal. Driving the lane meant you were going to absorb contact, not whistles. And instead of struggling in that environment, Bird dominated it. He wasn't the quickest guy on the floor or the most explosive athlete, but he possessed something far more dangerous: an elite basketball mind. Bird read the game seconds ahead of everyone else. He dissected defenses with pinpoint passing, buried clutch shots under pressure, and controlled the pace of games with intelligence alone. And he did it all while relentlessly talking trash. One story captures his confidence perfectly. Before a three-point contest, Bird famously walked into the locker room and asked, "Which one of you is coming in second?" Then he stepped on the floor and proved it. That was Larry Bird. So when LeBron James and Kevin Durant joked about Bird struggling in today's NBA, it struck a nerve. It wasn't just a slight against one legend. It felt like a dismissal of an entire generation that laid the groundwork for today's superstars. And Shaq wasn't alone in feeling that way. Because once those comments hit the internet, fans reacted fast, and what happened next took the debate to a whole new level. Once Shaq spoke up, the floodgates opened. Social media erupted into chaos. On one side, older fans rallied behind Shaq, flooding comment sections with praise. Finally, someone said it. LeBron and KD are amazing, but they need to humble themselves. Bird would still average 30 in today's soft league. On the other side, younger fans defended LeBron and KD. It was just a joke. Relax. The game has evolved. Shaq is bitter, his era is over. It wasn't just fans weighing in. Other NBA legends started talking behind the scenes, even if most stayed quiet publicly. Whispers spread that several retired players agreed with Shaq, but none wanted to openly challenge LeBron or KD. Why? Because in today's NBA, going against LeBron is career suicide. His influence reaches everywhere, from teammates to media to league executives. Media outlets jumped in immediately. Debate shows devoted entire segments to the controversy. Some defended LeBron and KD, claiming their comments were taken out of context. Others sided with Shaq, arguing that respecting the history of the game isn't optional, it's a responsibility. And through it all, LeBron and KD stayed silent. No tweets, no Instagram posts, no clarifications. That silence spoke volumes. Here's the uncomfortable truth most people don't want to admit. This isn't really about Larry Bird. It's about a growing trend in the NBA where modern superstars feel comfortable dismissing the legends who came before them. Think about it. How often do we hear current players claim past eras were easier, or that legends didn't face the same pressure they do now? Over time, downplaying past accomplishments has become almost normalized. Shaq's message goes deeper. He's not saying Bird was better than LeBron or KD. He's saying this: you can't build a throne by tearing down the foundation. Without Bird and Magic reviving the NBA in the 1980s, there is no Jordan dominating the 90s. Without Jordan, there is no LeBron James. Every era builds on the one before it, and every link matters. If you want, I can rewrite the next section too, where Shaq's warning about who's next and the slippery slope of disrespect comes in, keeping it dramatic and engaging for readers. Do you want me to do that? It's a chain of greatness, and every link matters. What frustrates Shaq about some modern players isn't their skill, it's the lack of humility. LeBron James and Kevin Durant are all-time greats. That's not up for debate. But greatness doesn't give anyone the right to mock those who built the foundation of the game. And here's the scary part. If Larry Bird can be laughed at, who's next? Will future stars joke that LeBron is too old school? Will Kevin Durant's game one day be called outdated? It's a slippery slope, and Shaq sees it coming. So where does that leave us? LeBron and KD are undeniably two of the greatest to ever touch a basketball. Their resumes speak for themselves, but so does Larry Bird's. And the truth is, you can debate eras and skill without disrespecting anyone. Shaq's message wasn't about tearing down LeBron or KD. It was about lifting up Bird. About sending a reminder that respect isn't optional. You can be confident in your own greatness without diminishing someone else's. The big question now, will LeBron or KD respond? Clarify their comments, apologize, or double down? As of now, we don't know. The story is still unfolding, and the tension remains unresolved. One thing is certain. Shaq made his position crystal clear. Whether you agree or not, he sparked a conversation the NBA needs to have. Because if we stop respecting the legends who built this game, what does that say about the game itself? So here's the real question for you. Was Shaq right to call out LeBron and KD? Or were they just having harmless fun and people are overreacting? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear both sides. This drama is far from over. Whether you're Team Shaq, Team LeBron, or somewhere in between, one thing is clear. The conversation about respecting NBA history isn't going anywhere anytime soon. If you think Shaq was right to defend Bird, hit that like button and let us know. If you're riding with LeBron and KD, explain why. And don't forget to subscribe, because when this story updates, trust me, you'll want to be the first to know. If you want, I can combine all your rewritten sections into one polished, ready-to-publish article, keeping the suspense, drama, and social media hooks intact. It would read like a professional sports feature. Do you want me to do that?